Surrounded now, each joint freezes beneath a seal of bloated skin. My breathing has become long and drawn out, the chest rising and falling in slow motion. The pace of a walk through the desert looking for water. Thud, thud. Every inhalation taking a matter of hours. And finally, my chest holds, ballooning into the air. We found this exhaust covered in the brightest gold flecks, like it had been dusted with the sun. It seemed to still be radiating heat, so I pulled it across the ground and kept it close to us for the duration of the night. I suppose it became an emblem for the sky meeting the earth, a treasure from our lost quest. The shell around me became both armour and a border between myself and what was yet to come and what had already passed. It became a marker for the intense loss of definition between the graspable real and the probable fantasy. At this point, the bonnet was probably protecting me from myself, as if without that layer of metal tissue, I'd realise what was going on. As the night rolled on, I got a bit hollow inside. I formulated a set of ideas in my head about the coming future, about what it was we were looking for, and whether the unbearable dissatisfaction of not finding it was as bad as the realisation that if we did find it, we would die. Hello? Floodlights were tearing through the black sky. They were reflecting on chrome bumpers and catching on jewellery. The whole place was submerged in a weird tint of icy blue. The texture of everyone's skin appeared fluid in some way, a quality making us seem more garish than we already were. Do you have them? I felt a voice travel over my shoulder blades. It went through my heavy coat and it took me a moment to turn around and compose myself with a person I knew who was standing behind me. I've got them. You're a little late though. We've already started. His face did not respond. However, I felt as though he was internally wincing. I couldn't even tell if he was making an expression, as the floodlight reflections were so bright on his face. He looked like he was made out of glass, his coat out of slick white marble. I was held up on the bridge. You know it takes over 40 hours to gain access to these worthless sections of land. Why anyone bothers coming here, I'll never understand. I could now feel my own facial expression becoming tighter. With my back to the lights, I was casting a lumpy shadow on the ground. The goal around my neck was the only thing defining me. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Yes. He moved past me and towards the crowded arena of light. I didn't turn to watch him go. When our faces were turning into obsidian, I remembered the time when I was a child. I was climbing a very steep, muddy hill and was not wearing the correct shoes. I slipped on the wet earth and grabbed hold of nettles and brambles that lined the path to stop myself from falling. The pain wasn't the thing that struck me. It was the worry. It was the worry of whether all these little bumps would ever go away. The numbness was shocking. It is the same when obsidian takes over. You wonder whether the intensity will ever ease up. It doesn't. You become used to it. You never really get to grips with what is controlling what. We got to the end of the land as the sun was setting. The horizon was a crimson line, punctuated by the occasional dark mass of a boat. The rays crept towards us, and then back into the folds of the sky, like reversing waves, and our colours went from vibrant to dusty in a short space of time. It took me an hour to realise that there were no floodlights, that in fact the moon was the thing creating the blue tone on everyone's faces last night. After I had this realisation, I felt foolish and completely inept for the job I had been given. In the morning there was a sharp hot wind that kicked the granite around our feet. I really hope this gust is a breeze by the afternoon. I nodded. We walked side by side, carefully avoiding puddles of what looked like black ink that had collected on the path. There were few animals, and the woodland that lay to the left of us was swollen and throbbing with humidity.